Hey y'all, this is Charity with Stampin' with Love. I am here today to share a project with you that's kind of been on my heart. I've had a lot of people lose loved ones, suffer tragic accidents, just a lot of things that are reasons for tears. And so today what I wanted to do is show you some projects that I've come up with that is just a little more than a card. It's for those times when you just want to sit with somebody and let them cry on your shoulder, or just a card won't quite cut it. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is what I've come up with, kind of resurrected an old idea, but a tissue box cover. I love that our stamp sets have some wonderful words of encouragement and hope and thoughts and prayers. This one is from the Woven Heirloom Suite. I love that. We've got this from Path of Petals. And this one is from Hold On to Hope, which is one of my faves. And then this one is from Flourishing Phrases. I just thought this was a great way of saying, yes, there's a time to cry. There is a time for tears. Now, if you don't want to go big for a big one, here's a smaller version. A little nice thing that holds one of the individual boxes of Kleenex. Again, a reminder that you're being thought of, praying for you, thinking of you like that. And if you just want to go with a card, you can do that, but here's one that actually includes some tissues inside as well. So today I'm just going to walk you through some basics on how to put together the tissue box and this, and some tips on the card so that you too can encourage your friends. So we're going to start with the tissue box, okay? What you're going to need for this project, and I will have a PDF posted, so don't panic. It'll have all these measurements and everything on there for you for all three projects. For the tissue box cover, we're going to start with two pieces that are 9.5 by 5 1/4. You're going to score these pieces, both of them, at 4.5 and at 9 inches, okay, along the long side. So 4.5 this way, 9 inches this way. That's those two. And then your top is going to be 6.5 by 6.5. And what you're going to do is you're going to come in and score it at 1 inch from each side, and then turn it in 1 inch, then turn it in 1 inch, and turn it in 1 inch. Now, Charity, why don't I just do it at 1 inch and 5.5 inches? Well, because sometimes we cut our paper a little bit wonky, and I want each of these sides to be exactly 1 inch. So it's better to actually stick it in your score and score it at 1 inch on each side so that you get a little more precision. And that comes into play a little bit later. So hang with me. But that's how you do that. Now, I've pre-stamped these. And the reason why I love this set, and I wanted to show you that you've got the 4 different panels, okay? And they're going to actually hook together like this. So I wanted, as you turn the box, for it to be a little bit different on each side, but kind of the same. Now the words stamp in the Very Versailles set, which is the one I used, by the way, does have an up and down. It does have a direction. So I would stamp it full strength and then stamp it off, and then stamp it full strength, stamp it off. And it just kind of kept going all over that with the crumb cake. Then I took my Pretty Peacock, which loved this color, and I decided to stamp the vines. On this one, you'll notice it's kind of down a little bit, but if that's going to be the top of my box, then that lid is going to sit on top of it. Okay, and see, the lid is actually going to come down and cover part of that, so that'll be covered up. And I wanted to see more of those leaves. If I stamped it all the way at the top, I wouldn't do that. So keep that in mind as you're going. Also keep in mind that you want to pay attention to top and bottom, and I'm keeping my little skinny score line on both sides because it's going to hook together like this. If I had stamped it like this, then when I put them together, they would be upside down. So anyway, I did stamp them correctly. Let me turn them back around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my green Tombow glue. Okay, actually, let's fold and burnish. I remembered my bone folder this time. Progress is small, but we're going. You want to be sure you get a good crease on these, both sides. I know, and I'm just running it all over everything. I'm praying my glue is running to the tip while I'm doing this, right? That's what we all wish for. All right, so I'm going to use my Tombow. Whoops, don't want you there. And I'm just going to run it down this seam. Now I'm going to be real careful. You really want to line it up. I'm just getting it everywhere, y'all. Thank goodness it dries clear. You want to line it up right there on that score line, trying to keep it all nice and square. Okay, again, here you can use your grid sheet if you want to be perfect. I'm kind of in a hurry, being a little sloppy at the moment. But whenever you're assembling a box, one way to help keep it square is if you will fold it flat, okay, and adhere it like this, okay? Because then when you open it up, it'll be perfectly square. If you try to hold it up here and do this, you can actually get it off a little bit and it won't exactly work. But if you lay it flat and then you fold it over and you adhere it together, you'll have a nice square box. Also, you can do this by using your tissue box itself, okay, to stick it together. That's helpful too. But with these measurements, it's going to fit your standard tissue boxes, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that together. Let that be sitting. Make sure I didn't glue it together because, you know, that's happened before too. Set that aside. Next, I'm going to work on my top. This one I've already stamped a little bit. I did it a little differently from my sample because I wanted to try something. Just see how this pattern works out. I actually stamped those in a circle around there and then just pulled in a little of the halves on my top. Now the struggle for me was, how do I get the oval inside the cutout in the top when my Big Shot platform is not as wide as 6.5? Well, I figured out how to do that, and so let me show you how that works. Let's get our Big Shot here. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn it upside down, okay? You're actually going to fold in 2 of those sides, and you're going to take your oval framelit, and you're going to stick it inside. And what I did with my oval framelit, y'all, is really easy. I took my Kleenex box and I said, yeah, that looks about the same size, okay? Don't overthink it. Now, you're going to place this in the center where you want it to go, okay? I'm going to I'm looking at left and right here, and I want to center it up this way. And then you're going to pull those flaps on top of your die. Well, I can see now I've got it off center, so I'm going to pull it down a little bit to where I've kind of got it equal from here to here, and then left and right. Does that make sense? And with those flaps pulled down like so, it's going to allow me for that die to go ahead and cut it, but it's not going to interfere, okay? So I'm going to put my top sandwich on. Hope that didn't move. We're going to roll it through, and that's going to cut out that top oval. It's also going to avoid that lovely little ring that we get sometimes when we do this, okay? So voila, works every time. So now, move this back out of the way. We're going to go ahead and fold up the other sides. I've already done this for myself. Yay! Crease them real good. Okay, so top assembly, what you want to do is basically you pick 2 sides. It doesn't matter which ones. I'm going to do left and right here, and I'm just going to cut right along those score lines up to the other one. I'm going to do that on both sides of the same side, okay? Then I'm going to flip it around to the opposite side. I cut that side, and I'm going to cut this side. Okay, just like that. Love, paper snips, love, love, love. All right, I'll throw those to the side. And when you put your top on, when you assemble it, the really important thing is that you need to do it on your box, okay? It's a lot easier if you go ahead and put this around your Kleenex box as well. The reason why is because it's going to be the same size, but you're going to have a little bit of wiggle room in there, okay? And so you'll notice that it's going to fit really, really tight and really, really snug. And when it's on your box, you have that little playroom, okay? So what you're going to do is when it's on your box like this, I suggest you lay it down, take those little tabbies, get out of the way. Throw some Tombow glue on there like so. Don't you like my terminology? Throw it. And then, with it on the sides like so, you're going to fold that flap over. Come on, y'all, behave. Like so, and you kind of hold it. You sing a little song while you're letting it dry and stick really good. Okay, and then you flip it over and let the weight of that be mashing on those while we do these. Okay, really not complicated. I hope that you've understood all of this. I just really wanted you to get those tips on how to cut the oval out of the middle for the top, and also to be sure that you assemble your top while it's on top. Now I could glue all of these things on and glue the entire top on, but I choose not to do that. I like mine in 2 pieces that I can remove later, okay? So I'm gonna kind of give that a little mash. One other tip, and then it's just a matter of stamping your words, what you want it to say, and decorating your sides. I'm not gonna do that for you. I'll give y'all choice in that, but these are the words I chose and I loved. Now I did add this ribbon around the top, and one tip on that is to use your tear and tape, which There's mine right here. And all I did is I started in one corner. I took my tear and tape and I ran it all the way around my box like this, okay? And cut it right here. Then I took my ribbon and I cut it nice and square, started on one end and just ran it all around that tear and tape like that, okay? And then just cut it all nice and pretty on the ends where they meet, and you're done. So voila, tissue box. The next project is the little one. Okay, y'all, this one is fun. It's still sweet. It's a great thing to give. You can do this for weddings, for mother of the bride, or all kinds of different things. Get well soon. Somebody has a cold, which is about that season. All those different kinds of things. So this is simply half a sheet of cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And what you're going to do is on the 11-inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 2 3/4. Hang on, I got one right here. I can show you. This one's gonna be a little different. So a 1/2 inch at 2 3/4, then at 3 3/4, and at 6 inches, okay? Which is about here. Then it's just a matter of folding it all up and adhering it together. But I wanted to show you how I did this little opening, since we don't have oval punches, but we have oval dies, and how it works in the Big Shot. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first thing is I'm going to cut that little oval out of here. I'll line it up. Love the magnetic platform that holds everything in place, even though I don't necessarily get it perfect. Okay, stick that on, roll it through, and I'm going to cut that oval hole first. Okay, now I'm actually going to go back this way because I have decorated the other side and I don't want to get all that messed up. So what I have my oval punched out of here, okay? Now, what I did for my little decorative piece is I simply ran it through the Big Shot again on a scrap of Pretty Peacock with the same oval. And then I'm going to take our beautiful punch and I'm going to line up that oval inside like so and punch it out. So now I have my little decorative piece. Then I'm going to take my Tombow glue and add it on there and glue it on like so. Okay, easy peasy. You can use different punches, different combinations, different shapes. I kind of like the oval. I think it goes with the graphics in this paper. So I thought about too, always remembering those who have lost people or lost loved ones during the holiday season. Sometimes Christmas, Thanksgiving, holidays aren't always a happy time for people. And I wanted to give them something to just say, hey, I remember that you've lost someone. I remember the holidays are difficult. So it's okay to cry. I'm always thinking of you. And I think that that's really special to people as well. Again, because this is a box, to make it square, the way that you want to assemble it is you want to somehow fold it flat and stick it together, okay? So picking this bottom seam to fold it up, and then I'm going to glue it like so that if I do it like this, folded flat, when it comes up, it will be perfectly square, okay? I think that's a Julie DiMatteo tip. Love her. So again, I'm going to get my green glue, which I now have all over my fingertips, and I'm sticking to everything. And I'm going to fold that piece down, lay it flat, keep it nice and square. And I'm going to hold on to it for just a second. Okay, the last thing is you've got your pack of tissues. You've got this lovely little lifty thing here. I just go ahead and kind of tear that off. Well, I'm going to try to. I may cut it off. How about that? Threw my scissors a second ago. Shouldn't have thrown them far. I'm actually going to just cut that off. I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to cut a little bit more out because I really just want to see the white tissues underneath. Okay, let me let go of that for a second so I can actually cut decently. There we go. That's stuck together, and then you simply, and I like this one because it actually looks like it's Pretty Peacock. It kind of matches, so if that shows, it won't be terribly ugly. And then you just slide your pack of tissues right in there like so and pull one up. Oh, just make a mess. Yeah, do that. Don't do that. Make yours beautiful and sweet and give it to someone to show that you really care about them. Again, this was the first one that I did using the Very Versailles and the other things that I've been using so far. I hope you enjoyed those. That's an old project as well. And then this one is simply a card. It's very, very easy. You just make it like a normal, regular card. All you're going to do is add this little box. The dimensions for this little box are simply 4 1/4 by 5 inches. You're going to come in and you're going to score it at 1/4 inch, 2 1/2 inches, and 2 3/4 inches. Here, the punch will actually slide up onto the box just fine, but I wanted to get that centered exactly how I wanted to, so I just punched it out of some scrap. Let's pretend like this is the side I'm looking at. I laid it on there, took my pencil and just kind of traced it just a little bit. Then I stuck my punch on so that it punched it right exactly where I wanted it to go, nice and centered. This one really isn't, but that one is. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to attach this panel to the bottom of the card, butt it up against your fold, okay? And then you're going to put a little bit of glue on this guy. You're going to pull it like so, okay? So that so that's lined up with that. Put a little bit of glue on this guy. And then you're just going to fold your card. And what that's going to do is that's going to stick it to this top side so that as you open it, it pulls it up. Now I've only put like 2 tissues in here, so take them out of the same little packs and slide them in there. They do go directional, but then you just stamp and decorate your card as desired. Y'all, I hope that you've enjoyed these projects, and I hope that you find somebody to show some encouragement and some love to today. And as always, may your heart be full, may your tea be sweet. May God bless you real big. Till next we meet. Bye, y'all.